Oh, hey guys, fancy seeing you here. I was just on my way to compare these two things, the Gtek and the Gtek 160R. But now that you're here, why don't you tag along with me? Come on, let's go. Why do I always pick abandoned places to film things? Now, before everyone loses their minds and goes like, McGurd, they just released the Gtek. Why would they ever release a Gtek 2 in such a short time span? Well, I've got good news for you. This right here is not a Gtek 2. You see, if you ever look at Audi cars, they've got the regular model and they've got the S-Line model. So the Gtek 160R is basically an S-Line Gtek. So what's the same and what's different, what's compatible and what isn't is what we're gonna look at today. So come on with me and let's take a look. So now let's sit down with both the Gtek and the Gtek 160R. Take a look at what's in their respective boxes. We're gonna unbox both of them for you. It's a standard Eclipse packaging, really, You get the hard case inside, and the hard case has got some goodies in it. Let's take a look at what's in them. So, opening up the 160R's case, and now the Gtek's case, and as standard with Eclipse, it doesn't matter what you're paying for your marker, you're well equipped out of the box. So you get grease on both of them. Actually, grease is missing on my Gtek case, but it comes with the box. You get the same barrel for both of them. This is pretty much a rounded out shaft 5. So the porting's a bit different, but inside it's gonna perform pretty much identically to the shaft 5. They're true to size, they shoot well, they're consistent. These are great barrels overall, and there's really nothing to be disappointed here with. You get Eclipse top-notch barrel stock, great manuals, amazing, huge, massive, big spare parts kits. So, full Anki said, this is getting redundant and in an amazing way because Eclipse packaging is the best in the business, hands down. So with these two guns in aesthetics and in build, you're getting what you're paying for. So the Gtek at a lower price, the regular Gtek, you've got composite frame, macro line, composite eye covers, back cap, ASA knob and feed neck, and you've got a metal body. The milling on it is pretty good looking, but it's a bit basic towards the front. It's rounded out, really. It's got some deep cuts towards the center of the body, which looks really good. The back cap's got a deep cut, but that's a lot easier to do with composite than it is to do with metal. The 160R, on the other hand, is all metal build. It's got an AT pipe. You've got a metal back cap, metal frame, metal knob on the ASA. It's also hoseless ASA. Well, it's macroless, but you've got the AT pipe here. Metal eye covers, metal feed neck. Everything on here that is composite here is metal. And this is more than just an all-metal Gtek. It offers more than that. So you've got the better trigger, the better gas-through system, and you come with an OLED board out of the box. The Gtek, it is available as a drop-in upgrade. So that's pretty clear. You get what you pay for as far as aesthetics and build, and there's not really much else to add to that. So we're gonna take these apart, see what's inside them, what's similar and what's different, and what's interchangeable between the two. The first thing we're gonna look at is the drivetrains, of course, because to me, at least, this is the most exciting part of a marker. So the Gtek's got the Gamma Core. We know and love the Gamma Core. It's awesome. And the 160R has the Gamma Core as well, which is great because this is the exact same drivetrain that can fire perfectly even after being frozen for hours or lubricated with peanut butter or have its key components glued in place. It's simply a fantastic drivetrain and I don't see a reason to shy away from it. But they do feel different when fired and I'll get to that later. And there's still more to see, so why don't we take a look at the regulators next. And there shouldn't be any surprises here. This is Eclipse's SL4 reg on both guns. It works fantastically. It's super consistent. It's worked, period. The only difference is how the air is fed into them. The Gtek 160R uses the AT pipe and the Gtek uses macroline, so they have different collars for each. And the same story goes for the solenoid and also the board. So the major component of the gun, board, solenoid, drivetrain, and regulator are interchangeable between the two freely. They're completely compatible.
Other parts that are compatible are the eye covers, feed neck, and grips. And something else to point out is that the 160R can run on the Gtek's ASA and run with Macroline, but the Gtek cannot fit the 160R's ASA, nor can it fit its frame. The Gtek 160R can fit the composite Gtek frame, but it cannot screw in the rear screw. Weight-wise, they're pretty much identical. If you were to hold them both at the same time, you'll hardly tell a difference between the two. But the 160R comes in at 925 grams, and in pounds, that's 2.04. And if we take a look at the regular Gtek, that's 933 grams, and in pounds, there we go. And in pounds, it's 2.06. When it comes to holding these two guns, you probably know what to expect. The regular Gtek is the composite frame, and we know what composite frames feel like. When you pull the trigger, it smacks to the frame. You feel that vibration a little bit. But the Gtek's got the Macroline, so if you grip your regulator low, it might get in the way. Personally, it doesn't for me, but I have heard that complaint, so I might as well point it out. The extended feel is still there, and it points excellently. It's one of the easiest guns to point in paintball, and I really enjoy how the Gtek feels in my hand. But if you're looking for something better, you've got the 160R. The 160R is a definite improvement to something that was already fantastic, and the star of the show definitely has to be the aluminum frame. The way it merges with the rubber grips definitely feels more rounded out and flush and natural, and it's more comfortable to hold for me, and obviously the quality of the material it feels more premium, and that's pretty much why it's the material of choice in high-end guns. Now, a huge improvement in the 160R over the Gtek is definitely the trigger. The Gtek trigger was good enough for me, you know, I could get high rates of fire with it, adjust tension, and do all I wanted with it, but the 160R trigger is simply better by far. If you can picture the CS1 trigger without the magnet adjustment and without the opto switch adjustment, this is pretty much what you have on the 160R, and it's nothing short of fantastic. Also, can't forget about the AT pipe, and they've been around for a while, and we know that they're pretty solid and they're pretty reliable. More solid and more reliable than Macroline, and yeah, I mean, it's what you'd expect in this kind of improvement of a gun, so it's very welcome here. Now it's time to put some rounds through these two. Believe it or not, despite both guns having the same internals, the shots do feel a little bit different. The kick is about the same, but the level of smoothness is a bit different. It appears that the GRN frame on the Gtek absorbs a bit of the shock from the shot and transfers it directly to your hand, so you feel a bit of that vibration. While on the 160R, on the other hand, it feels like the shock of the shot is being transferred down from the frame to the ASA, to the tank, and onto your shoulder. You feel a shot more on your shoulder with the 160R, and you feel a shot more on your hand with the Gtek. And that's if you feel anything at all, because most of the time you're going to be in-game, and when you fire your marker in-game, you don't really have the time to stop and think about what it feels like when you shoot. If you've shot a Gtek before, the 160R shot should feel familiar, and if you've shot neither before, well, let me just tell you, it's a very satisfying shot. Especially ripping in semi-auto.
So to wrap it up, with both guns, we've been using them, shooting them, playing with them, and I mean, it's quite obvious that the Gtek 160R is the better gun. I mean, that was its purpose from the very start, but that doesn't mean that it's the right gun for you or the one that you should get, right? This is a more expensive gun, and I mean, you are getting what you pay for with both of these guns, and I need to make that very clear. But if you just need to put paint in the air, if you just need something to shoot with, if you want something that's fun to play with, this is you can't go wrong with this. But if you want the higher quality gun that feels nicer in your hands, that It really has a nicer shot feel to it and has more high quality construction and comes better prepared out of the box considering it comes with the OLED. Then the 160R is definitely it for you. One of the more difficult questions that I feel lots of guys are going to be asking is if you already have a Gtek and you're looking at the 160R. And I think that that's your call really. Or if you're happy with the Gtek, there really is no need to go for the 160R. But if you're one of those guys that has had the Gtek and the only thing you feel is missing from it is that high-end feel in your hands, then the Gtek 160R is waiting for you. And I have to say, it's a fantastic gun. And with either choice, you really can't go wrong because the Gtek platform is incredible, to say the least. It's extremely reliable, extremely efficient, shoots fantastic, feels great in your hands. It's easy to point, easy to shoot, idiot-proof. Everything you possibly think of in a paintball marker, the Gtek offers it in some way or another. So with either choice, I think you're gonna be very happy, and that's pretty much it. So if you want more information on the Gtek 160R, the full review for this gun will be available here once it is uploaded. The Gtek's review is already up and you can check it out right here. And see you guys next time. Pew, ba-dow, pow.